Okay. I think I've finally come to the point where I've realized that I need to begin making videos, because what's happening with me is I'm beginning to really realize where it's at. I'm beginning to really understand why men are so fucked in this society. Now, I want to make absolutely sure that I don't completely go overboard with this, because I think a lot of men do this. This is a big thing about male nature, is we try, and no, we don't try. We bloody well make damn fucking sure of it. We go completely all the way in everything that we do. We achieve as much as it is possible to achieve. We go, we try, we make it happen. And that's men's nature. We don't give up. Consequently, I want to be sure that when I'm making these videos, I don't utterly self-destruct, because everything that I've ever done in my life, pretty much, when I give it everything, I either give it everything or I destroy myself. So, in doing these videos, it's not going to be a professional approach. It's not going to be superly well edited. But what it is going to be is it's going to be something that I know that you, the viewer, want, and what I certainly fucking want. Because as much as I'm interested in having people listening to these videos and understanding where I'm coming from, ultimately, at the end of the day, this is about me. And frankly, that's all there is to it. I don't fucking care whether this helps people or it doesn't. I'd prefer if it did help people, but I've come to the conclusion that in actuality I'm kidding myself if I'm trying to pull off some stunt as if to say, oh yeah, this is all about the consumer. No. You've got that wrong. This ain't no fucking business for me. This is organic, and this is genuine. And that's another reason why I think you should fucking listen to it, because this is where we're coming from. And it's not just me out there. It's millions upon millions upon millions of us are dying a slow, painful, tragic death. And I don't know about you, but I don't like what I see out there. I see pain, I see anguish, I see agony, I see destruction, I see malice, I see condemnation, I see destruction. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon at all. So for us men, in how we find ourselves in this predicament, we need to stop. We need to step back. We need to unplug. And we need to leave, walk away, and begin to live lives for ourselves. Because ultimately, when all is said and done, there ain't nobody that gives a motherfuck about you. Men are deluding themselves if they think for a second that they can build families, societies, constructs that are not, what's the word? Corrupt, I suppose. Corrupt, I suppose, is the word. But what we need to understand is that at the very epicenter of human nature, there is a serious, disgusting, demented fault. And as remarkable as the human condition may well be, there is one fatal flaw. And that is how we are so fucking malleable to what's happening within our surroundings, be it in our environments, in the working world, in our own personal lives, family, friends, people around you. But regardless of human nature, in and of itself, it's all rather irrelevant when you really think about how it's manifesting itself in today's world. Because today's world is an incredibly artificial place, somewhere that, if there ever was a god, or whatever it is you're into, even the most, even the most, you know, phenomenally gifted people in terms of, creativity are, there's no way that somebody could have possibly invented this. And indeed, that's the case. It wasn't one creator, it's been a multitude of different revolutions and periods within history that have ended up with us arriving as to where we are at today in relation to how society runs and functions and governs itself, and the different levels of hierarchy of people and all that bullshit, because it's all bullshit. Everyone knows this. But men are fooling themselves if they think for a second that they have control about things that are beyond themselves. If we're trying to build something, that's what men do. We really are remarkable, unique, beautiful, just fantastic individuals. But collectively, there's a little bit of a problem. And I'm not just talking about men amongst themselves. As a group, well, we can actually work remarkably well together if and only if we're all going towards the same goal. This is central. But the problem is, in virtually every day in society, and what men do and how men spend most of their waking hours is, acquiring resources to get access to female reproduction. Now, the problem with that is that the whole thing is corrupt to begin with. Now, if we can understand this, go beyond this point, which I think a lot of us here in the MGTOW community have done, which is very good news for us, because that means that we're going to avoid this in our lives, and the younger you do it, the better for you. So once we can come to the point where we understand that this is not the best way to spend our time. And then once we can understand these concepts, we can move forward with our lives and begin to actually build something concrete. But that ultimately starts with yourself. With yourself. There is no other way to build something genuine, robust, sturdy, foundational, if it doesn't come from yourself. I mean, this is really basic, to be honest. If you take a look at human history, in almost every invention that was, coined, and, all of human history demonstrates that in most cases, the big leaps forward were amongst people, primarily men, who took the insight and who got the idea from their own minds. Now, certainly there was an influence, and there's many influences, and people have had an influence in their lives. There's no doubt about it. No man is an island. I'm not saying that for a second, but if we can just get to the point where we can actually shut off external influences for a longer period of time, on a daily basis if possible, for a longer period of time than you might want and that might feel comfortable, that's going to stand you in really, really good stead. And whether something comes out of it or whether nothing comes out of it, that's not really the point. But the point is to give yourself that opportunity, that chance, to allow yourself to give yourself the space to allow that possibility to even exist. Because if the possibility isn't allowed to exist, then you're never going to get anything in the first place. This is all obvious. But it's something that I think most men just do not allow themselves to do. To grant themselves that space. And if we can do this, we can begin to achieve things in our lives that we, and it's cliche but it's true, that we could only ever dream of. Because I firmly believe that most men have remarkable, phenomenal untapped potential. Wells, reservoirs, 8 miles, 10 miles, 20 miles deep, that they have no idea that is even there. But we haven't even been allowed to scratch the surface because of our conditioning in this society. So if we can break free for a little bit, grant ourselves a couple of hours every day, and begin this journey within ourselves. It sounds wishy-washy and fucking voodoo bullshit. It's not. This is real life. This is real thinking. This is inquiry. And if we can get this down, we can really begin to make some really good change amongst ourselves, internally, personally. This has no, there's no guarantees here in relation to a finite outcome. This isn't for monetary gain. This isn't for more social acceptance. This isn't for anything. This is for yourself. This is to lay the bedrock so that you can achieve all of those things that you would like to achieve. But this groundwork, this foundational thinking, this you right there, you listening. So go forth, men, and do yourselves a favor and stop listening to me and all the other people out there on the internet and all the other people out there in your real lives when you step away from the computer and you talk to people face to face in your workplace, in your friends, with in your friendships, in your relationships. If you still go down that route, I'd recommend you don't. All people who you have access to and contact with, stop listening to them for a minute and begin to listen to yourself. And you will be amazed at the power that will grant you. Thanks for listening, guys. Take it easy.